Hello, welcome to Angular Simplified 2019 video. My name is Hamad and I'm here to teach you how to install Angular environment in this video. So before we start, I would like to discuss what's Angular. Angular is a JavaScript framework which was created by Google. It's a front-end technology and we would like to discuss there are two types of Angular, so you don't need to confuse and tell the differences. One is AngularJS, one is Angular. AngularJS is the first version of Angular. If someone is telling you like AngularJS, it means version 1. It has a JS with it. Angular is a 2 and beyond version. Which is the newer version of Angular. So the difference between those two is like the first version only supports JavaScript. The newer version supports JavaScript and also a new kind of language called TypeScript, which is a simplified JavaScript. Why to use Angular? It has customizable or customized components in small pieces. You can use it in any part of your application. You can bind data, send data from JavaScript to your view and reacts to its events and things if you want. You can also import some dependency when needed. You want to add new functionalities to your application, so you can use that. You can also test every part of your application if you need, and also it's very comprehensive. It has a lot of documentations. It's a fully fledged framework. You can get out of the box solution for your server communication, routing, and your application, like whatever you want. Another thing you should understand is like the difference between AngularJS and which was the first version, and Angular 2 and beyond. Angular has a semantic versioning, which means once you code in it, if the new version comes, you don't need to change your code. Means the code will work with the new versions, but with AngularJS it won't work. Like if a new version is released, so you don't have to worry to update your code. Angular can also be extended to many ways. If you want to develop a mobile application, you can use native script. If you are using server rendering, you can use Angular Universal. Redux it can also be used in Angular. For the installation, you need Node.js 6.9 and above if you want to work with Angular. Otherwise it will not work. Angular uses Node.js as its built environment. You need to install npm package manager, which will be installed with Node.js. Make sure it's above 3.0. TypeScript is JavaScript, a new kind of JavaScript. Basically, if you want to understand it, like you write simplified codes in TypeScript, the language, which is very easy, and then it will compile to JavaScript after building it. It's not mandatory for Angular, but it's highly recommended to install it. And then Angular CLI is very important, and because Angular is setting up Angular code is not easy. They develop this command line interface, so you can create components and do many things that won't be easy using manually or changing the code. So we will discuss how can we install that too. Git versioning, and if you're using Windows, you should install Bash as well. Those are some of the links that these might be useful for you if you want to install them. For Node.js, once you install Node.js, the recommended version from that link, the npm will also be installed. You can install Git and TypeScript and Angular. Now I'm gonna show you how to install all of those, but mainly the TypeScript and Angular CLI, which I already have Node.js and Git installed for my computer. So if you go to nodejs.org, you can download Node.js 10.15. So it will also have npm. You can use your method if you want. You can also install Git. I'm using Mac, so I can download the Mac version. Because I already have downloaded and installed it, I don't need to. So after installing those two things, you can go to your terminal and make sure what kind of Node version you are using. To check that, I'm gonna write node -- version. So as you can see, I have the version 10.15, which is more than 6.9, which is required. And also I'm checking my npm version. Let's see what version I'm using. I'm using 6.4.1, which is above 3.0, which is required for the Angular. Now I'm gonna install TypeScript. For installing that, make sure you have the correct permission for your computer and you have administrative rights. So we use sudo command to get the administrative, because I'm installing this globally. I need to use sudo to get the administrative rights. Install -g TypeScript and press enter. It's gonna ask me for my password. Let's see, sudo install. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to write sudo npm install, not sudo install. Sudo npm install -g TypeScript. So yeah, it's installed. It shows like there is no error. And next I'm gonna install Angular CLI. npm install -g @Angular/CLI. If you need administrative permission, you can add sudo at the first. Because I used sudo before, it is not gonna ask me for the password again in this terminal, because I put it one time. Now it's installed and the environment is now ready for our Angular development. So ready for the next video that I will discuss how to make an Angular application. Thank you for watching.